Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today in Edinburgh, the weather is bonkers. It's between warm and cold, and you don't know what's happening. Spring is not even around the corner remotely. But anyway, we're here, Scotty and I, to unbox the latest March of the Machine draft booster. And this is a box for it. We've only managed to do a one pre-release box so far. And yeah, that one took quite a while to get through because we hadn't really seen any of the cards and we just took our sweet time through it. But with this one, we're hoping to get cracking a bit quicker. Now, as usual, draft boosters are mainly for drafting or sealed experiences. So if you're planning to play with your friends at home, getting a draft booster can be a quick way to do a draft. Otherwise, alternatively, you can go to your local store, shout out to Mox in a Hole here in Edinburgh, and you can participate in a Friday Night Magic draft with other players such as yourself. Without further ado, thank you very much, Scotty, for the intro. Yeah, I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Your week has been great. We're looking here at the box at the moment to see any differences. I really like the art and the colors theme of this set. It's quite nice. In here you get 36 boosters. And they're all draft boosters, and that's about it. Nothing more, nothing else. So let's open it up with our land configuration from Hellraiser because Phyrexia wins. And no, I'm joking. Spoilers, it doesn't. The Super Friends get together and defeat Phyrexia, unfortunately. Anyway, so yeah. We're going to, as usual, be unboxing every single one of these products. So all the sealed, all the boxes, all the decks for the set. And also we'll be making a version guide for everyone out there who is trying to figure out what is the version for each card and where you can get them and which product. So this is the box as such. It opens with an art card and archetype card, which kind of explains the different kinds of drafting sealed archetypes that you can find in the set. So it's quite useful, and in case you are interested, you can just pause that. And then you get to the meat and potatoes of all this, which is the 36 boosters. And every booster will contain at least one battle and at least one transformed creature, as we've seen for our pre-release unboxing, and also you'll be able to find a Multiverse Legends card. And yeah, let's get cracking and see what we'll be able to find and go over these amazing cards. So, our first box, Cyber Cryptomancer, which is a decent flash hexproof backup idea. We won't go too much into the abilities because we've gone into the abilities in the previous video, so we will just stop at the cards that we haven't seen before and kind of give you an overall view. And if you like our videos, we go into detail into arts and what the cards could be played as, where and which formats, and give you our honest opinion. And yeah, if you like it, want to stick around for all the other ones, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and so you get notifications. Or if you don't like us, just, leave a thumbs down and tell us what we can improve. So anyway, the Cyber Cryptomancer was the first common. War Train Slasher is the second common, which has double power when it attacks. It's a really good creature. It's a 4/3 generic with 1 red. You have the Knight of a New Coalition, which is another interesting creature. You get a 2/1. You get 2 knights, one white and 1 blue knight creature token. So whenever you cast this, you get 2 creatures for the price of 1. Now that's good. And also with Convoke in this set, that's a pretty cool ability. Wildwood Escort, we've already seen her before. It's pretty nice. Meaning of the Minds, another good Convoke. You draw 2 cards. It's mediocre for sealed. There's nothing major, but hey, it's free card draw if you gotta fill that 4 slot. Traumatic Revelation. And this is, Chandra meeting Nissa for realsies. And yeah, this is a discard sorcery, or it incubates 3 for you. Not the greatest, but it's decent enough to fill the slot if you have nothing played in it. Overgrown Pest is quite good. And this is a 2/2 creature. We've seen it before. I love the art of this. It's quite good. Then we have Meridian Avenged. An okay instant. It allows you to draw a card and destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. It's not great, and at this slot you might have better stuff, but if you have no removal, black has a lot of removal in this set, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you have no removal, go for it. Omen Hawker. Now we're going into the comments. This is it's okay. I mean, you want to play this in a transform deck or a deck that has a lot of abilities. It's a pretty good 1/1 creature that allows you to tap for 2 mana. So that's pretty good, but you can only use it for activated abilities. Then we have Sunstalker Moloch, which is creature is a 4/2 lizard. That costs 1 generic and 2 green with flash and 1 inches of battlefield. If an opponent has cast a blue or black spell this turn, you look at the 4 cards of your library, reveal a permanent card from among them and put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of the library random order. So not a bad creature. It's definitely sideboardable, and of course the ability itself is not the greatest. If you need to cycle through your deck really quickly to get those huge permanents, maybe it's a Vorinclex or something like that, then yeah, maybe play it, but definitely there are better cards. Jeru and Hazaret is our first rare. It's a legendary creature, human god, 5/4 that costs 5 for 2 generic and 2 red and 1 white. And as long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, the Jeru and Hazaret has vigilance and haste. That first part is okay, I guess, for, later game. Whenever Jeru and Hazaret attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library, and exile and put a legendary card from among them. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order until the end of the turn. You may cast the exile card without paying its mana cost. So it's only until the end of the turn, and it's a legendary card. But it's okay, but I've seen better. Now, Herbology Instructor, this is a transform card. It's a 1/3 for 2, which is not bad. It gives you 3 life and allows you to defend a little bit on the battlefield. You can always grow it. Then you can transform it onto the Malady Invoker, which it's not a great flip card because it only gives -0, -X when it's flipped, whereas the equals to the power of this creature to another target creature an opponent controls. So, not great. Invasion of Pyrulia. So this is a Simic, so green and blue, Battle Siege. And when Invasion of Pyrulia enters the battlefield, you scry 3. Then you reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land or a double face card, you draw a card. And it has 4 defense. Not great. I mean, yes, you can draw a card, but you have to reveal it. So let's see what the back does. You have Gargantuan Slabhorn, which is a 4/4 with Trample in War 2. That's decent. Add transfer permanents you control. I have Trample in War 2. That's good. The back is good, but the problem with battles is that the front has to be fairly decent because you'll be wasting a lot of time trying to kill them, and so it'll be dead in the water if you can't do much with it. Now again, this is a 2 cost, so it could be good. Next, Valda, Keeper of the Flame. We've seen him before in the Multiverse Legends. And then we have the Island, Full Art, and Ran and Realmbreaker, the emblem. You may play lands and cast permanent spells from your graveyard. So that's not bad at all. Let's move on. So yeah, I wonder how you've been liking this set so far. I think the fluff is, the lore is amazing. It's really, really cool. And yeah, it looks really fun. So, Attentive Skywarden is our first common. This is a decent flipper for incubator tokens whenever it deals a damage to a player or battle. So, definitely a good common if you build around it, of course, in this kind of deck. And then you have Engine Earth, an instant that transforms a creature to land in a 4/4. Not bad, but there are better. Disturbing Conversion, a flash and enchant creature, and whenever this enters the battlefield, each player mills 2 cards, and enchanted creature gets -X, -0. Whereas the number of cards in its control graveyard. Now, as I've had a look, there is like I was thinking, mill as a strategy, as an archetype, and so. You would think that this is great, but the 2 costs, you want something quicker, and realistically, there is better. Coming in hot, which I love. This card is really cool. But anyway, I love the art. Coming in hot is a 1 red instant. Target creature gets +1/+0 in game's first strike until the end of the turn. Scry 1. Not great. There are better interactions. It's just that this is something to fill your 1 slot if you have nothing else and you have no interaction at all. Sunder the Gateway. Just choose 1. You destroy target no-land artifact or enchantment opponent controls and incubate 2, or you incubate 2, then transform an incubator token you control. And it's a sorcery. If you build around incubation, this is really, really good because it allows you to flip an incubator token. And for example, if you have a 5/5 incubator token just waiting there, you can just flip it and then create an incubate token, or you destroy a non-token artifact or enchantment, which is not that much in this set from what I've seen, but it's not bad. Urn of the Godfire, this is a good land fixer, or mana fixer, I would say. Crochet, not bad. It's not great. It fills a slot, and it can grow really big. It's a creature, it's 2/3, and whenever... at the end of your end step, if an artifact artifact or creature was put into the graveyard from the battlefield this turn, it gets +1/+1. Again, it's a Phyrexian, so in the Phyrexian deck, you can build it up. Not bad. Phyrexian Archivist, or Archivist. I've not seen this creature before. This is 6 generic. It's a 4/5 artifact creature with reach. So that's a big one. With 2 generic and tap it, you put target card from the graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. Not bad. I mean, let's look at it. It's really expensive, so it's bad. It's a 4/5 for what it does. It has only reach. It doesn't do a lot, and it allows you to put a card on the bottom of your library. So yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be nice here. It's not disgusting. You can still fill the body, but definitely it's something that you can replace easily with something else. So I wouldn't even go for it. For Phyrexian Awakening, this is a good enchantment. 2 generic and 1 white, you get to incubate 4. And whenever it enters the battlefield. And also, Phyrexian Control have Vigilance. So if you are to build around Phyrexians, this is a great card to have. Stoke the Flames, this is one of my favorite ones. One of my favorite spells. There's a 2/4/3 damage kind of style spell as well. I don't remember the name off the top. That's another great one that you will want. So basically, this is a convoke instant that deals 4 damage to any target. Easy peasy, especially because blue and red have ways to create convoke creatures really easily. Gushing Deluge, this is a sorcery. All creatures get -1/-1 until the end of the turn, and instead, if they were green and white, they get an additional -2/-2. Again, very situational sideboard. Sheoldred. Now, this is a beautiful card. Finally, we have one of the Praetors. Spoilers, she gets decapitated. So by Elish Norn, not herself, but she has Sheoldred decapitated. So basically, Sheoldred is a great card to have. It's a 3 generic and 2 black. It's a 4/5 menace. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature or a planeswalker. And then for 4 generic and 1 black, you exile Sheoldred and return it transformed flipped onto the battlefield. You can only activate this as a sorcery only if the opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard. So definitely you want to go with the milled strategy. And when you flip it around, you have for each opponent, destroy up to 1 target creature and planeswalker that player controls. And then each opponent discards 3 cards, then mills 3. And then put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. Yeah, and then you flip the card around. So this is huge. All the predators are really good in limited for sure. So I would definitely play it, even if I didn't have the ability to mill. It's still a 4/5 with menace for 5 that allows you to have an opponent sacrifice a creature or a planeswalker. So why not? And that's our first mythic. So that's pretty cool. Invasion of Killam is a siege, and when Invasion of Killam enters the battlefield, up to 2 target creatures get +2/+0 and get vigilance and haste until the end of the turn. Not bad. 2 creatures, it does what this color wants to do, right? So, and it has 5 defense, so it's easy to flip. If you time it correctly, you can flip it quite quickly with what it does. And then you have Valor's Reach Tag Team, which creates 2 3/2 red and white warrior creature tokens. And whenever this creature and at least another creature token attack, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So it can grow really big. Definitely something that you'll want to have on your side. Okay, so Multiverse Legends, you have Quende, Pride of Femeref, and this is a 2/2 for 3 generic and 1 white. It has double strike, and creatures you control with first strike have double strike. Again, not a lot of creatures that do that in this set, so we will see. Island, and then a treasure token. Oh, that's a beautiful treasure token. Very nice. Okie dokie. So I have not been able to draft yet onto these with this set yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know if you've been able to draft and how those have been going compared to previous sets. Skittering Surveyor is a 1/2 artifact creature with 3 generic, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you must search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. So, land fixing, very good. Another very good land fixer. This is Blighted Burgeoning, which is an enchantment art that enchants a land. It's a 2 generic and 1 green, and it allows you to incubate 2 whenever it enters the battlefield. And on top of that, whenever the enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. So, very good for ramp, very good for splashing colors. I've heard that you can even go as far as having 5 colors in a draft if you're really good at that. So definitely a card to have if you weren't trying to do that. Tidal Terror, this is a big octopus that does very similar to what other octopus have done, which is a 5/6 for 4 generic into blue, and whenever it attacks, you can tap 2 other untapped creatures you control, and if you do, it can't be blocked, and on top of that you can always island cycle it. So it's okay. It's a big dumb creature that you can island cycle, so in case you're splashing, it's always good to have. Thrashing Frontliner, this is a Phyrexian Viashino or Viashino. It's a 2/2 for 2, so it's always good. It has trample, and whenever it attacks battle, it gets +1/+1 until the end of the turn. We've seen it before. Alabaster Host Intercessor, 3/4 as his battlefield exile target creature, so that's always good. And you can always plane cycle again. Decent for more for the plane cycle than the exile, but then again, white doesn't have a huge amount of exile and destroy. It has some compared to other colors. I guess it would be black, then white, and then red with the damages, and then, well, not much of anything else. I mean, you have green, etc., but, yeah, so definitely something to keep in mind in case you're looking to have an extra removal. Vanquish the Weak, a destroy target creature with power 3 or less. Mixed bag with this. If you're playing against a decks that have a lot of weenies, this is very good. More is decent in first few turns. But black has a lot better removal in my honest opinion. Trailblazing Historian gives haste to another creature and has haste himself. So, not bad, but not great. Nezumi Informant. Now, Nezumi, whenever he enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. There are ways to return this with the white. What is it? I don't remember the name of the card. It's on Sorcery, if I'm not mistaken. You can just return a card. Like exile, and then comes back into play, so it would be okay with that, but other than that, not a great card. Joyful Storm Sculptor. Now this is a decent card. It's a human shaman for 3 generic, 1 blue and 1 red. It's a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you create 2 tokens, so 1 blue and red elemental creature tokens, and whenever you cast a spell that has Convoke, this card deals 1 damage to each opponent, and each battle they protect. So this is really, really good. You want to build around it, and if you're going to go with Izzet, definitely you will have a lot of Invoke enabled. And the Stormcrawl Rager, this is a 2/2 for 1 generic, 1 black, 1 red. And for 1 generic, you sacrifice another creature or artifact, and you put a +1/+1 counter on this, and you draw a card. Activate only as a sorcery. Not bad, because there are some throwaway creatures like we saw at the beginning with the Cyber Crypto Monster. Once it's on the battlefield, if you backed up someone else, you can always sacrifice to something like this. Then you have Stygian Fire. We've seen this. I still stand firm that is very expensive for limited, even though you can convoke it. It's very much of a very late payoff, and even though the set is not the fastest, as fast as, for example, First Soul would be one, I still think this is more of a commander card than anything else, in my own honest opinion. Okay, then you have the Sunblast Guardian, which transforms into a Phyrexian. It's a 2/2 for 2, always good. With 5 generic and 1 Phyrexian red, transforms into the Blessed Conqueror. Whenever it attacks, you create a tapped attacking token that's a copy of it, and you put a +1/+1 counter on that token for each +1/+1 counter on this card, and you sacrifice the token at the beginning of the next end step. So not bad. I mean, not bad at all, I guess, for that combination of colors. Invasion of New Capenna is the battle, and it's a 1 black and 1 white. It says that when Invasion of New Capenna enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact or creature, and when you do, you exile target artifact or creature an opponent controls. So you can sack 2/2 Phyrexian token, for example, because Phyrexians love this color combination. Has only 4 defense, and then it flips and allows you to exile. And on it flips onto a Holy Frazzle Cannon. Which really does sound made up. Holy Frazzle. So this is an artifact equipment. You can equip it for 1 generic, and whenever a creature attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on the creature, and each other creature you control that shares a creature type with it. So again, Phyrexian, really good. And next we have Kenrith, the Returned King. Now this is a beautiful card. It is played in Commander quite a bit. I've seen it, and I really love the art of this one compared to the old one. So Kenrith, this is the new version with the Planet Booster Fun idea of the Throne of Eldraine plane, and this is the old Kenrith, the Returned King, which was previously a buy box promo from Throne of Eldraine. That was when it was first released. I really like this new illustration. And in case you don't know what it does, it's a 5/5 for 4 generic and 1 white. It's a legendary human noble creature. And for 1 red, all creatures gain trample and haste until the end of the turn. For 1 generic and 1 green, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. For 2 generic and 1 white, target player gains 5 life. For 3 generic and 1 blue, target player draws a card. And for 4 generic and 1 black, put target creature card from the graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control. I think in this set, it would be crazy not to play this because, like for example, if this was a first pack, you can go all 5 colors and you can still get a payoff. So this is a really good card, and it's a mythic, so I'm really happy that we got this one. Jungle Hollow, this is the gain lands, because whenever you play one, you gain 1 life, and there's 1 for each color combination, so there are 10 of them, and then you have a token. And so I've heard that between the color fixing cards that are, you know, permanents or plane cycling and all those, you can definitely build a lot of color combinations. So it's gonna be really cool to see what people can come up with, because you're not just stuck in certain colors. Now, Converter Beast in our new pack is Phyrexian Beast. That is a 0/1 for 3 generic, 1 green. It allows you to incubate 5, so it creates a pretty big token. And again, you can rebalance it with the white card, or you can sacrifice it to other cards as a payoff afterwards. So not bad if you're playing that kind of deck. Assimilate Essence is an instant that counters target creature or battle unless the control plays 4, and if they do, you incubate. So not bad. I don't know if I would play a lot of it, maybe 1 at least on the 2 slot. Might be annoying, depends on how you build the deck. Furnace Host Charge is a 5/5 haster with mounted cycling. So again, if you need to cycle some lands in because you're fixing, it could be good for that. But other than that, not much. But it's a 5/5 with haste, so it's a big dumb giant. So for that slot, if you need something, you go for it. And here you have Sworn Cavalier, 3/1 for 2 generic and 1 white, and it has first strike as long as another knight enters the battlefield. So you want a knight deck to use this. A Cosmic Hunger is the interaction for green, and always is good. But also, if you have any Death Touch creatures, you play this, and yeah, it just kills anything. So that's really good. Plastic Rotten Tail. Oh, this is cute. Not really. Kind of. I mean, I don't know. It is kind of cute because it has it's a bunny, but at the same time you have mushrooms growing everywhere. I don't think that's healthy or sanitary, but to each your own, eh? It's a 1/1 Fungus Rabbit. Never seen it before. It's a 1 green. To play it, it's a creature with vigilance. Okay, and with 2 generic and 1 green, you exile him from the graveyard to put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature, and you can only activate a sorcery. I mean, counters, why not? Sure. Not a great card, but not a bad card either. And it's always with, with black that has mill, and other combinations wouldn't be bad. Flipping Guerrilla. It's a 2/2 creature, fairy rogue with 2 generic, 1 black, and flying. And whenever it dies, each player mills 2 cards. Then you may exile Fleeting Guerrilla. And when you do, put target creature or battle card from your graveyard on top of your library. So again, this is good for mill decks. Halo Hopper. This is a cute little frog. It's a 3/2 artifact creature frog for 3 generic. It has Convoke. 3/2 for 3. I mean, if you need to fill the slot, why not? It wouldn't be bad last pick for sure. Wicked Slumber has a first uncommon and it has Convoke. And you tap up to 2 target creatures and you put a stun counter on either of them, then put a stun counter on either of them again. So, it does what it says. It's not bad, but it's not great. If you don't have any interaction for blue, this wouldn't be bad. You put either a really big dumb creature stun for a couple of turns, or if not, you allow yourself to hit something this turn, like a battle, right? If you're intelligent enough to destroy a battle with this, so not bad. Then you have Elspeth Smite. So this is an instant that deals 3 damage to target attacking a blocking creature. If that creature will die this turn, instead it is exiled, and it's a 1 cost. So I'm actually thinking this could be really good, especially for early game, but not just for early game. It's a top elf, and yes, it's an attacking blocking creature. Yes, there's the time, not the time, the Wanderer Strike, whatever it's called, but still, it's not a bad one, I would say. Grafted Butcher. Now this is a nice card. It's a Phyrexian Samurai, and it is a 2/2 for 2. And on top of that, whenever it enters the battlefield, all Phyrexian you control gain menace until the end of the turn. Plus, other Phyrexians you control get +1/+1 always. And then you pay 3 generic 1 black. You sacrifice an artifact or creature and return him from the graveyard to the battlefield and activate it as a sorcery. So basically it never goes away unless it's exiled. This is really good for the Phyrexian deck. Definitely want to build the Phyrexian deck around him for sure. Okay, now we have Bonded Herd Beast as a 4/5 creature for 5. Not much going for it, and then you flip it. It has menace. It's a 7/5. It's a big dumb creature that, I mean, if you have nothing better, at least a 4 or 5. It's a mediocre card, but not too bad. Vision and Kamigawa. I'm still split on this because the front is very slow. The back is decent for late game because you get to draw cards. But it's a 2/3 creature. So I don't know, half and half maybe. It depends if you're running out of battles to go get it. If not, just never mind that. All right, next we have Dyna Soul Steeper, which is Golgari. So it's a black and green 1/3 legendary druid creature. And whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. And for 1 generic, sacrifice another creature, and this creature gets +X/+0 until the end of the turn, where X is a sacrifice creature power. So, not bad. I don't know if I would play in a limited because there isn't a lot of life gain. There's a unicorn that allows you to do that, but I love the Strixhaven border, and this is really beautiful. Now we have a normal land, forest, and an incubator token. All right. Next up, Protocol Knight. When Protocol Knight enters the battlefield, you tap a target creature an opponent controls, you put a stun counter on that creature, and if you control another knight. That's a 3/4, allows you to stun and tap, and also it costs 4. Not bad. Definitely play in the Knights deck. Searing Barb, it's a sorcery, deals 2 damage to any target. If it's a creature, it can't block this turn, allows you to incubate 1. It's a shock for 3 that allows you to incubate. Man, there are better choices, but if you need a filler, why not? Bullet Slinger, that's a backup 1. 2/2 creature that costs 3 generic and 1 white, and whenever it attacks, tap target artifact or a creature an opponent controls. Definitely good, counting the fact that battle sieges are here, and yeah, you can always back up a creature, and then whenever this attacks, so within 2 turns, you should be able to deal some decent amount of damage. All right. Chomping Covenant, this is a good creature for early game, 3/3 that cannot be blocked for creatures with 2 or less power, and you can always pump it up. So, and also it has backup, so has something going for it. Definitely a good creature for green. Thunderhead Squadron is a 3/4 with Convoke flying. It's a human knight, not bad. Definitely it's a top ender, so if you're looking at that slot, knights are a quick deck. You want to be quick and on and wide as early as possible, so therefore, yeah, might be good if you need to fill this slot. It has flying, but it's only a 3/4, so you have to pump it up somehow. Ash Familiar, this is a 3/2 artifact creature, which is a fox, and Terminator Fox. It's a 2 generic and 1 black, and whenever it dies, each opponent loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. It's a die effect. You can't really bring it back that easily. There are better cards to bring back. Mediocre. Burning Sun's Fury, this is an instant with Convoke with 1 generic and 1 red. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+0 and gain haste until the end of the turn. Again, better stuff in this slot, but if you don't have any combat tricks, not bad, and you can Convoke it, but at the same time you're tapping down so they can see it coming a mile away. Drag Recycler as a 2/2 for Extreme Beast for 2, so that's good. And then you tap Sacrifice artifact or creature, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. Not bad. Again, 2/2 for 2, very decent. I would definitely say that it's okay. I'd play it for if I need the 2 slot, and then later down the road you can always sack stuff to it and gain some extra life. Not bad. All right, Furnace Gremlin is the first uncommon. It's a 1/2 for Phyrexian Gremlin for 1 generic 1 red, and for 1 generic 1 red, it gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. Whenever it dies, you incubate X, where X is its power. I don't know. Yes, you want to be quick on this, but you won't be able to get a lot out of it. It will trade down because you have to pay too much for it. So, I wouldn't play it too much. Streetwise Negotiator, and this is a decent card because it has backup 1, and it deals damage, assigns damage during the combat phase equals to its toughness. Right, so if it becomes a 1/3, it deals 3 damage. So basically, it's a 3/3 whenever it attacks for 2. Very decent, very good. And also, you can always buff up another creature and just get a 2/2. I think this is a good card. Gift of Completion. This is an enchantment for 1 generic and 1 black. When it enters the battlefield, you incubate 3, and that's decent enough. And then whenever a Phyrexian control dies, you surveil 1. So if you're building Phyrexian deck, wouldn't be bad to have this. If you don't have enough at this slot, it wouldn't be the greatest, but it wouldn't be bad. Now we have Kenraz, the Spell Spear. This is the Jackal Warrior does turn Phyrexian as a 2/2 for 2, so it's always good. 1 generic, 1 red. Has Trample and Prowess. Wow, okay, so that's really, really good. And then you flip it for 3 generic and 1 Phyrexian blue, so that's not bad. And for 3 generic and 1 Phyrexian blue, it has, holy moly, it's a 3/3 Trample, Ward 2, Prowess, and Prowess again. Holy crap, this is how is this not a mythic? Or at least a rare? Yeah, definitely this is good. Okay, And then we have an invasion of Karsus as our rare. It's a battle, and it has 4 defense for 2 generic and 2 red. And when in this battlefield, it deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. So that's good for 4 to each creature and planeswalker. Be careful on your side, but if you build around this, it would be good because you can clear up a lot of the board. And then go ahead and hit it, and then you get a Refreshing Elemental, which has ward pay 2 life, which is good. And then whenever you cast the spell, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. Definitely can roll out really quickly. This is a good battle to have. That's definitely okay. Now we have Timoran, Chosen of the Death. From Death. We've seen him before. And then we have the Bloodfell Caves and a Soldier token, which is really cool. Look at that. It's going freaking Super Saiyan. Awesome. All right. And on we go. On to the next. All right, we have the Mirror Bane Splitter, which is not the Bardiche. Okay, so 1 red, it's an artifact equipment with flash, and enters the battlefield, attaches to target creature you control. It gets +2/+0, and you equip it for 3. Definitely a good interaction. I'd say, yeah, it's an okay. It's a filler, definitely. Wouldn't be bad to have, and then you can get rid of it if you don't need it. Now, I like this one. Alabaster Host Sanctifier. Oh, that's the other life linker that I wasn't remembering. It's a 2/2 life linker Phyrex, and you can always pump it in a Phyrexian deck. Always good. I love 2/2 life linkers. They've saved my butt quite a few times. Okay, Iridescent Blade Master, 2/2 for 2 again, and then for 3 generic and 1 green, it gets +2/+2 until the end of the turn. And again, it's a green creature, not bad. It's an elf warrior. Why not? It does stuff, and it can help you longer in the game if you've had a lot of removals and stuff like that apply to yourself. You can always just use it as a 4/4. So it definitely is something worth keeping in mind to fill that slot. Temporal Cleansing is a convoke sorcery with 3 generic, 1 blue, and the owner of target non-land permanent puts it into the library second from the top or the bottom. Now, this is annoying, but it's not as annoying as you think because it's a sorcery speed. So, yes, your opponent has this huge creature. It took him a while to create or transform or put down on the floor. Yes, it's annoying, but there are better bounces than this one. Still, if you're wanting and you have no removal interaction, that's something. Kaisail, this is a 2 generic artifact equipment, and the equipped creature gets +1/+0 and it has flying, and you equip it for 2. Not bad, not great. It's something. Gloomfang Mauler. Now this is a swamp cycling, also backup 2 and menace 5/5 creature that costs 7. So that's 5 generic and 2 black. Definitely a really good creature. If you don't need it, you can swamp cycle to fix your lands. If not, it backs up and gives other creatures menace, which could be either 2 really big or strong hitters on your side. Alternatively, it's a 7/7 with menace that really needs to be dealt with. I like it. Moment of Truth is an instant. I look at the top 3 cards of your library. This is not a good card for me because you put 1 in your hand, 1 in the graveyard, and 1 at the bottom of your library. So if it was on top of the library, that would be good, but this is just doesn't cut it. Zalfrin Lancer. This is a 3/3 for 3 creature for 2 generic and 1 white. That's a human knight. Whenever another knight enters the battlefield under control, Zalfrin Lancer gets +1/+1 vigilance until the end of the turn. Definitely good for the knight's deck. The Host Crusher, yes, we've seen him before. A dumb top end, if you have no top ends and you want to go wide, sure, go for it, but you'd probably find something better. I hope for you, if you're playing that color. Bloodfeather Phoenix. Now this is a 2/2, 1 generic and 1 red creature, and it's a rare and has flying. It cannot block. So that's annoying. And whenever an instant sorcery spell you control deals damage to an opponent or battle, you may pay 1 red. If you do, you return this card from the graveyard onto the battlefield. It gains haste until the end of the turn. There are better effects because it cannot block. It can be annoying. Yes, you can deal damage to your opponent and battles at the beginning, but there aren't too many cards they deal damage, you'd have to build around something like, okay, I'm gonna get the Stoke the Flames or any other one that deals damage, but in the end there might be better slots for this. So yeah, it's decent. I play it, but it's something that if you get something better, definitely don't hold your breath for it. Ether Blade Agent is a 1/1 Death Toucher that costs only 2, so 1 generic, 1 black. So that's always good. And again, because if you play with any of the green cards, it can deal damage and not die, so kill anything. You transform it for 4 generic and 1 Phyrexian Blue into Mind Stinger. It's a 3/3, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a battle, you draw a card. It's okay. It's Death Toucher, so it's definitely got to be dealt with, and it's got to be dealt with quickly. Otherwise, it's going to give you a lot of advantage. So that's annoying. Invasion of Xerx. This is a 2 generic and 1 white, 1 blue invasion, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you return up to 1 target creature to its owner's hand, and it has 4 defense. So it's a bounce, kind of an expensive bounce. And what does it do? If you flip it, it gets you a Paladin, Angel Knight with Star as power and toughness. It's a flying, and its toughness and power are equal to the number of creatures you control. Night deck, that's for sure. It might be strong, actually. Might be strong in the night deck for sure. Ayara, okay, we've seen this before. A really beautiful card, and I really love the art in this one. Storm, the Seed Core is their first foil, and I love the art of this one. That's just beautiful. It looks like I don't know, just like a Renaissance painting. Jason Rainville, this is really, really good work. Anyway, Storm the Seed Core as a 2 generic and 2 green sorcery. You distribute 4 counters, +1/+1 among up to 4 target creatures you control, and creatures you control gain vigilance and trample at the end of the turn. So this is kind of go wide and also go big at the same time. And after this, you really want to go and win the game, or as close as possible to that. So definitely, because it's a sorcery speed, right? So that's definitely a cool card. And then we have a Swamp and an Incubator token. Okay, next up we have the Red Cap Heel Slasher. It's a 3 generic and 1 red, 2/3 creature with backup, and it gives first strike. So, not bad. Definitely, it becomes a 3/4 for 4, or it gives first strike to something else, and you can definitely bump it up. And I think it's Boris that does that. Yeah, so definitely decent. Another knight is a 2/2 knight, Sigil Sentinel. It has backup 1 and vigilance, so it's always good in the knight deck. Turtlid's Favor. It's an instant. Target player searches your library for basic land, puts it onto the battlefield tapped, and shuffles, puts 2 +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target artifact or creature. But it's really expensive instant. It's 3 generic and 1 green. There's no convoke. So if it was like a 2 or a 1 cost, then definitely. But this is you need line fixing that bad. Sure, go for it. But otherwise, you shouldn't have gotten it. All right. Next up, we have Pharaoh's Dispersal, and I think this is a great card because it's an instant spell speed that is 2 generic and 1 blue, and it costs 2 less if it targets an attacking creature, and you return it to its owner's hand, and you surveil 2. And again, we have huge creatures that require a lot of payoff. So for example, it took a while to get a battle down and all that stuff, and you just like, whoop, yeah, I just stepped 1, bye and back to you. Really annoying. I think that's really good. Arouse Reinforcement. This is another one that's good because the sorcery creates 2 1/1 blue and red elemental tokens. Again, Convoke is really strong in this color combination, so it's a really good card. Ash Host Doombringer. It's a 3/5, 4 generic, 1 black Phyrexian Demon, and when it enters the battlefield, you can choose 1. Target opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Or choose target battle. If an opponent protects it, remove 3 defense counter from it. Otherwise, put 3 defense counter on it. I think this is too expensive for what it does. Steer clear. Flywheel Racer. 3/2 for 2 generic vigilance vehicle, and you can crew for 1, and you can tap on mana of any color, activate only if this is a creature. So not bad. You can transform, again, fix your mana, transform your 1/1 or any of the useless creatures that now have backed up something else and they don't really do much to crew something. Or there's a red creature that whenever you tap it, you get damage, so that's not bad. And also, it's not that expensive to cast. Final Flourish. This is 1 generic, 1 black instant, and has a kicker cost, which is sacrifice an artifact or a creature. And there are some black creatures that you want to sacrifice that you can get back, as we've seen before. And then target creature gets -2/-2 until the end of the turn. But if you kick this spell, it gets -6/-6 until the end of the turn. So this is one of the better removals in black. As I said, black has a lot of very good removals. It's not the best one though. Xerox Drop Knight. So you use Xerox this night, as it says 2/2 creatures that you tap for flying vigilance that creates another 2/2 white knight, white and blue knight with vigilance, and you can only activate it if you cast 2 or more spells this turn. It's a 2 generic and 1 blue creature for 2/2 that does really good in a nice deck, and on top of that, it's any spell, so you any creatures as well. So 2 or more, you're done. Ravenous Sailback is the first common. It's a 3/4 for 4 generic with 1 green. It's a dinosaur. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you choose 1. Either it gains haste until the end of the turn, or destroy target artifact and enchantment. So, doesn't have trample, not great body. It removes an artifact and enchantment, not great, in my opinion. Wow, okay, now we have the Sword of Once and Future King. For 3 generic, this is a mythic card, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection for blue and black. So that's very situational, but all the swords tend to do this. And whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you surveil 2. Right, and then remember, to surveil 2, you either put the 2 cards on top or into the graveyard in whatever order you want. And whenever equipped creature deals damage, you do that, and then you may cast an instant and a sorcery spell with mana value 2 or less from a graveyard without paying this mana cost. And if the spell will be put into graveyard, it's silenced instead, and you equip it for 2. I think this is going to be decent for this format, especially for the mill deck. Definitely decent. So. And it's from your graveyard, so I was just checking that. Okay, decent card, I like it. And I think this is also a craze for maybe for modern, or or other Eternal formats, because there are a lot of really strong spells at that cost. So yeah, it's really cheap for those kind of formats. Now you have the Blight Reaper Thalet. Is a 2/2 creature for 2. Okay, so this is a good body. And for 3 generic and 1 for X in green, it turns around, and whenever it transforms or dies, you create a 1/1 for X in sapling creature token. Okay, so you get to have, basically for that much, you create 5/5 power presence on toughness and power presence on the battlefield. Definitely a decent card. Definitely a decent card. Next up, you have the Invasion of Eldraine, which we saw before. All right, this is Multiverse Legends Zeta Hedron Grinder. It's a 3/3 creature for 3 generic, 1 red. It is a goblin ally. And whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, the target is only Zeta, a Hedron Grinder. Copy that spell for each other creature you control that spell could target. Each copy targets a different one of those creatures. So that's not bad. It allows you to target more creatures. I'm definitely in this color combination with this. In this thing, if you get Soak the Flames or other stuff like that, it would be disgusting. And then you get a Scarred Crag and an Incubator token. All right, we're almost halfway through the first part. Yeah, as usual, we take our time to go through cards. So I'm hoping you're enjoying this as we dig through the March of the Machine set. Yeah, we're trying to be as quick as possible, but realistically, we're taking enough time to give you our opinions about the cards and learning the set itself. So if you like this kind of stuff, this is what we do here. When we're doing unboxings, we're not trying to get the big hits at the moment, but hey, any big hits would be nice. All right, so let's continue on. We have the Aerial Boost, which is a good instant. because you can convoke it for 1 generic and 1 white, and a target creature gets +2/+2 and flying until the end of the turn. And yeah, this is good because you can instant speed it. So I think this is a very good card. Next up, we have the Portent Tracker, which is a 1/1 creature that allows you to untap a target land, or choose target battle. If an opponent protects it, you remove defense counter from it. Otherwise, you put a defense counter on it, and it only activates as a sorcery. So definitely it's a multi-use card, and seeing how you can have enchantments for lands that allow you to give you 2 mana. With this, you get 4 mana. That's insane. So definitely good in certain decks. Stasis Field is an enchanted creature that gets a 0/2 and becomes a defender, loses all abilities. There are better interactions in this set, absolutely. Marauding Dreadship. It's a 4/1 vehicle that cruise for 2, so that's good because there are quite a few creatures that you can use for this and you can still get some work out of, and it incubates 2 whenever it enters the battlefield. It has haste. Yes, you can trade it in lower, but for 2 generic and 1 red, it's not bad. I think this is not a bad card. Inspired Charge, it gives +2/+1 to all creatures you control until the end of the turn. It's an instant. It's very expensive, but you go wide, you play this, you are hoping to win or do a lot of damage. Corrupted Conviction. So as an additional cost to cast this spell, you sacrifice a creature, you draw 2 cards. Not worth it in my opinion, because it's a steep cost to draw 2 cards for 1 black and a creature. But if you have a crappy creature and you build around returning creatures from your graveyard somehow, then maybe this is okay. Kithkin Billy Rider, this is a knight that I like because with double strike, with the fact that you can give it backup, it can become really big really quickly, and also the illustration is really cool and it's from Lorwyn, so yeah, hey-o. Rampaging Geoderm, 33 trample haste, uncommon, with 2 generic and 1 red and 1 green. We've seen this before. This is a good creature for killing battles. Seal from Existence. Now this is a good enchantment. For white is one of those removals. It's 1 generic and 2 white. It has Ward 3, so it protects itself and it exiles target non-land permanent until this leaves the battlefield. So definitely a good card. Lithomatic Barrage. It cannot be countered, and it's a sideboard card. We've seen it before. You want to use it against white and blue. It deals 5 damage to a creature's planeswalker. So it's a sorcery speed, but yeah, for sideboard, this could be good. And then we have as a transform creature, Sky Cleaver Earliest. It's a 2/1 for 2, flying for 4 generic and 1 Phyrexian Green. You can transform it into a Sky Cleave Invader, which is a flying 2/4. And when it transforms, you look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it in the battlefield. If you don't put the card in the battlefield, you put it into your hand. So it's definitely not bad at all. Next up, you have the Invasion of Ikoria. All right, these are the big ones. Yes, look at those. That's beautiful. All right, so the Invasion of Ikoria is a battle that costs X and 2 green. Now, whenever it enters the battlefield, you search your library and graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X or less and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, you shuffle. It's a 6 defense. So definitely, if you're playing some big creatures or something really, really good and disgusting, you tutor it with this. It's a very good card. Otherwise, kind of a pointless card. And then you get Zolrotha, Apex of Ikoria, which is an 8/8 reach for a creature, a legendary dinosaur. For each non-human creature you control, you may have the creature assign its combat damage as though it weren't blocked. Yeah. Kind of like, okay, I win the game now. Not bad at all. Okay, that's a rare. And then we have another rare, which is in our Multiverse Legends slot. This is Lathiel, the Bounteous Dawn, which is a 2/2 unicorn legendary creature for 2 generic and 1 green and 1 white. So it's a bit of a costly card. Now, at the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, distribute up to that many +1/+1 counters among any number of other target creatures. So Not a bad card. There isn't a lot of life gain in the set, and on top of that, it doesn't protect itself that well because it's other creatures. So it's okay if you have nothing better, but don't build your deck around it. It's a beautiful card. Ooh, well, that's new and that's beautiful. Look at that. This is a foil rare Rankle and Torbran in the Planner Booster Fun format. So this is a card that you can get in as a normal rare. It's not a multiverse legend, and it's one of those two-parters, right? Because you have two Rankle and Torbran, which is really cool for Throne of Eldraine. Yeah, I love Throne of Eldraine, so I'm sorry. All right, this card is 1 generic, 2 black, and 2 red. That's a 3/4, right? It costs 5. It has flying, first strike, and haste. That's good. Then on top of that, whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a battle, you choose any number of the following. Either each player creates a treasure token, and or each player sacrifices a creature, and or if a source would deal damage to a player or battle this turn, it deals damage +2 instead. I love this card. Wow. Rakdos, I don't know how good of a format it is for limited. Is definitely a creature to look out for if you're playing those colors. Maybe even build around it. I like it. It's a good creature, but the cost is not easy to do. You'll definitely have to fix it somehow because it doesn't leave a lot of leeway. So, but God, that is a beautiful card. Then we have a mountain and a placeholder card. Okay, we have this and 3 more, and the first part is done. All right, Angelic Intervention is an instant common, and for 1 generic, 1 white, target creature planeswalker you control gives protection for colorless or from color of your choice until the end of the turn. If it's a creature, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Not a bad interaction at all. I think this is really good actually because you put a +1/+1 counter on it, for example, on a knight, because this is something, or a Phyrexian, something that uses these the white color, and then it gets protection until the end of the turn. It's definitely save my one big creature because you just try to kill it. So I would be mindful of keeping open this amount. Serpent Blade Assailant is 2 generic and 1 green cost for a 2/1 elf warrior with backup 1 and Death Touch. I like Death Touchers. This is not a bad one, and also it backs itself up. So definitely a decent card. Again, green has ways to deal damage from the creature itself. Power to other creatures. There's more than one way, so it's not just Rabbit Bite. So that's really good. And of course, I call it Rabbit Bite, but it's similar to that. Pregame Champion, that's another great common. This would be a good pack for drafting. A really hard one to choose from for sure. It's a 2/2 creature. We've seen it before. It creates a 1/1 elemental token that's red and blue. It's definitely nice for the Convoke ability. Furnace's Charger, we've seen it before. Zephyrin Shapecraft, we've seen it before. Consuming Aetherborn, we've seen it before. Overgrown Pest, I love it, seen it before. Ichor Drinker, seen it before. And also this is a really cool card. And I think this is actually really good in its color. Completed Huntmaster. It's not a bad card for its color. It's the first uncommon. Corruption of Tovashi. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you can incubate 4. So for 4 generic and 1 blue, it's an enchantment. And then whenever a permanent you control transforms, or a permanent enters the battlefield and control transform, you may draw a card and do this only once each turn. Not bad, a bit expensive. Sunfall. Now this is a beautiful card. This is an exile. It says I would say it's as good as Farewell in its own way. Of course, Farewell exiles, you know, everything that you choose, but this one for this limited standard, etc., it's pretty decent because it allows you to incubate, so you get that much more out of it. So you create a big dummy. And then we have Hired Artisan, which is a 2/3 haster, a creature with a 2 generic and 1 red as a cost, and then for 3 generic and 1 white, you get a flying haste 3/4. It's not bad. It's okay. I'll give it that, but this better. Invasion of Asgol. We've seen this before. Now that I remember, I love the art. It's not a bad tutor, edict, sorry, kind of thing. So, and the flip side is not bad either. There are better cards though. Renata, this is a Call to the Hunt, is a good creature. We've seen her before. It gains power equal to the devotion of green, so you build around it. This is a decent card to build around for. And then you have Blossoming Sands and an Incubator. Now we're starting to pick up the pace. I've seen a lot more of the commons and the uncommons, so we hopefully won't be spending too much time here. Car Harblord. And I won't say any more that we've seen it before, because we've seen it before. So if I don't say it again, that's why. Atraxis Fall, Meeting of Minds. And this is as, yep, we've seen it. Rand's Resolve. I think I've not seen this one yet. You exile the top 2 cards of the library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards. Next turn, not bad. It's sorcery speed though, so meh. Enduring Bond Warden, again, another one of those creatures that you can easily sacrifice and allows you to back up and give counters to creatures that you were otherwise lose that turn. Negate, of course. Bladed Battle Fan. Expedition Lookout. Halo Forager. This is our first uncommon. It's a 3/1 Fairy Rogue. For 1 generic, 1 white, 1 blue, and 1 black. So it's a Dimir, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you may pay X. It's a flying creature, so when you do, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with mana value X from a graveyard without paying its mana cost. That spell will be put into graveyard, exile it instead. So that's really good for the Dimir decks. Render inert, you remove up to 5 counters from target permanent or draw a card. And draw a card, sorry. So it's a sorcery for 2 generic, 1 black. It's pretty good actually because of battles. And so you can flip a battle really quickly. Or kill a planeswalker. There aren't that many, but there are some that are pretty strong. So, and you draw a card off of it, so it's pretty decent. Alright, Inga and Esika. I really love the art in this one. It's so cool. Look at the rainbow, look at the kitties. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, it's a 4/4 creature, human god for 2 generic, 1 green, 1 blue. And creatures you control have vigilance. And tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast creature spell. So creature deck, definitely. Which does pretty well in this set, if I'm not mistaken. And whenever you cast a creature spell, if 3 or more mana from creatures was spent this way, you draw a card. So definitely something to build your deck around. I love this card. Tarkir Dunes Shaper. This is a 1/2 for 1 dog warrior, and you can transform it for generic and 1 Phyrexian and green. It's a 1 white to cast it, and it becomes a trample 4/3. Not bad, not great. It does something for sure, but it's not something that screams, "Oh my god, get it now." Evasion of Zendikar, a 3 defense battle with 3 generic and 1 green. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tab. So this is good for ramping. This is definitely good, and also for land fixing. Like green has a lot of ways to do that. So definitely, if you want to go multicolored, green has to be part of that. And then you get Awakened Skyclave, which is a 4/4 Vigilance Haste, and as long as Skyclave is on the battlefield, it's land in addition to its other types, and you tap it to add 1 mana of every color. Love this card. I like this battle. And I saw you back there. I saw you back there. Now, this is the Multiverse Legends Shieldred Mythic and the Icor treatment. So, this is, of course, the Multiverse Legend border for Phyrexia, or New Phyrexia, I should say. And this is the Shieldred, the Whispering one. It's a 6/6 original. I think this is the original one, if I'm not mistaken. It's a 5 cost generic and 2 black. 6/6 Swamp Walk. At the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from graveyard to the battlefield. And at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player sacrifices a creature. Yeah, I have this card in the original format. This is a cool card to have. And it's really beautiful. Next, Island and Dinosaur. Okay, 2 more. Let's go. So I hope you've been enjoying that so far. I know I've really loved the set so far. It's really cool. The amount of gimmicks that you have in here is really nice. I think there's a lot of fun to be had. There are a lot of rares and a lot of ways to build your deck, a lot more than for Axial will be one, which you're kind of forced to have the perfect curve. So Vengeance Nerf, Oculus Whelp, yes, I'm gonna move this a little bit out of the way. Or Trained Slasher, Infected Defector, Blighted Burgeoning, great card. Deadly Derision, I love this card. It's really good. And there it is, Squirrel Shift, the one that I was talking about exiling and bringing it back. Fail Conversion, it's a enchantment creature aura with 4 generic, 1 black. It gives -4/-4 to a creature, and whenever it dies, you surveil 2. Not the greatest, there are better. An Astral Wingspan, same thing, it's an enchantment aura, but this one, it has Convoke, 4 generic and 1 blue, but it gives the creature +2/+2 and flying, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. There's better, I believe, in this slot. Collective Nightmare is an instant for 2 generic and 1 black. Target creature gets -3/-3 until the end of the turn. See, that's a little bit better than the conversion, because at least this one you can convoke it, and it's an instant speed, so that's really good. Tandem Takedown, this is something that we've seen before, I believe. It gives +1/+0 until the end of the turn to our up to 2 creature, and then each creature deals damage equal to their power to another creature, planeswalker, or battle. It's an instant speed, 1 generic and 2 green, yes, and this with Death Touch is disgusting. Oh, nice. Italy, the Primal Conqueror. This is a big beastie. It's a 7. Oops, sorry. It's a 7/7, 5 generic, 2 red, 7/7. So it's not bad. 7 for 7. Trample. That's always good. And whenever it enters the battlefield, each player exiles cards from the top of the library until they exile a non-land card. Now you may cast any number of spells from among the non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. That's disgusting. Of course. Hard to cast, and then for 9 generic, wow, 9 generic, and 1 for Hexing Green, you get to turn it around into Italy Primal Sickness, which is an 11/11 trample indestructible that deals damage as poison counters to a player. So basically, once this is flipped around, if it's not dealt with, your opponent is bye-bye. Okie dokie. The Invasion of Argamon, we've seen this before, it's nice. And Rada, Coalition Warlord. This is a 3/3 creature with 2 generic and Gruul, so 1 red and 1 green. It's a legendary warrior elf domain. Whenever Rada Coalition Warlord becomes tapped, another target creature you control gets +X/+X until the end of the turn, where X is the number of basic land types among the lands you control. Not that great, but you don't have a lot of land types in this one. And Tranquil Cove, yes. All right, the last one on the first third of this box. Okay, Halo's Charscape. Oh, there it is, Volcanic Spite. This is the good one. This is the good instant. The other red instant that allows you for 1 generic and 1 red to deal 3 damage to target creature, planeswalker, or battle. You may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library. If you do, draw a card. That's really, really good. If you're flooding, if you're stuck on something, you have a huge dumb thing you can't cast, it allows you to do damage and at the same time to get this in. I really like it. Now that the new Coalition or Historian, look how happy he is. And Trailblazing Historian. Hey, 2 Historians. Seed of Hope. I think this is underplayed. I think this is a good card in Unlimited. Traumatic Revelation. Change the Equation is our first uncommon. I've not seen it before. It's a 1 generic, 1 blue instant. Choose 1 counter target spell with mana value 2 or less. Counter target red spell or green spell with mana 6 or less. Okay, this is a sideboard for sure. Phyrexian Sensor, yes. All right, Deep Root Wayfinders are rare for 1 generic and 1 green, so for 2. It's a 2/3, so that's already good. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player or battle, you surveil 1. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Oh my god, this is good for going the ramp way. This is really, really good. I actually like that. Novel Hermit is our troll Phyrexian that will transform, and it's a 4/4/4/4. Okay, so that's already good. Then whenever it attacks, up to 1 other target creature has base power and toughness plus 5/5 until the end of the turn. Yeah, I think this is a good one. I think this is good. Better than the other one, that's for sure. The useless one. Okay, we have Invasion Belladon that gives creatures +1/+1 slow. We've seen it before. And then Finn, yes, we've seen it before. Oh, Blaufell Caves in foil. Swiftwater Cliffs and the token. Okay, now we're starting to move a little bit quicker. See most of the commons and uncommons, so that's good. Fortive Analyst, not great. I don't think this is super playable. There are better cards at this slot. Beantown Beatstick, I actually love this. I love the name, and I think it's a pretty decent card. It gives you a treasure token. Runbreaker's Grasp. It's not as good as the other removal that I remember for Phyrexian would be one, but it's still pretty good. It's pacifism, so this is wide interaction. Wildwood Escort, Golden Scale Aeronaut, Crystal Carapace, Tenured Oldcaster. Okay, first uncommon is Marshal of Zhalfir, which is a human knight 2/2 that costs 1 white and 1 blue. Other knights you control, get +1/+1, and then for 1 white and 1 blue, you tap another target creature. This is a very good card. You definitely want it for your nice deck if you're going around that. Artistic Refusal, I think this is a really good card. We've seen it before, I think, but you can convoke and you can counter attack a spell and or draw 2 cards and discard a card. With the Convoke, seeing in Izzet how it plays, I think this is going to be a good card. All right, then we have Yargle and Multani. This is the biggest power on a creature that you can play nowadays. And this is just a big dumb creature. It's an 18/6 creature. It's a Frog Spirit Elemental. It's a legendary creature. It costs 3 generic, 2 black, and 1 green, which is not bad at all. And with black, since you can bring some of the stuff back due to the mill thing, not a bad creature to have. And yeah, that's it. That's all it does. It's just really painful to deal with. And of course, if you build it, you want to give it something such as, trample or have a deal damage somehow. So good creature, build around it. Definitely, I like it. Also, it's in the Planner Booster Fund. All right, Tarkir Duneshaper and Invasion of Kamigawa. Ooh, Inga Rune Eyes, and that's a beautiful art. Look at that. That is such a beautiful art. Okay, Inga Rune Eyes is a legendary creature, 3/3 human wizard for 3 generic and 1 blue. And whenever it enters the battlefield, you scry 3. Always love scrying. And when it dies, draw 3 cards if 3 or more other creatures die this turn. Not that great, I believe. Oh, and then we have our foil, which is Rona, Sheoldred's Faithful, which is a human wizard, a 3/4 for 1 generic, 1 blue, 2 black. That's a legendary human wizard. And whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, each opponent loses a life, and you may cast Rona from your graveyard by discarding 2 cards in addition to paying inside the cost. Good actually for the Dimir deck. It's not great, but it can definitely be played. Also, it's foil, so it's pretty freaking cool. All right, then you have the Scoured Barrens as our again land and then useless token. Okay, Stasis Field. Aki Scrap Chomper, which, as I said before, I think it wouldn't be actually a bad card because you can still play it longer term. Cut Short, decent. Ray Thespian, I'm actually believing that this is a good card because you get to surveil twice with it. And yes, it can trade down, but it can also trade up. And it fills the 2 slot. Eyes of Gitaxias. Urn of Godfire. Nezumi Informant. Phyrexian Archivist. Fearless Call, which is a double striker with backup. One which, costs 4 generic and 1 red. It's a 3/2. You can pair with other cards, such as equipment cards, to create some pretty big, strong creatures. Not bad, but it's a bit expensive because it doesn't have Convoke in any way, shape, or form. Tiller of the Flesh. Merciless Repurposing, which is another way for exiling a creature and incubate 3, but it costs 4 generic and 2 black, so it's quite expensive. Order of the Mirror, seen it before. All right, another mythic. Holy moly, I'm really happy with how this box has been going. You have the Invasion of Ravnica. This is a 4 defense, a battle siege with 5 generic, just generic, And whenever it enters the battlefield, you exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls that isn't exactly 2 colors. So you can exile quite a bit. That's not bad, and it's any permanent that's non-land permanent. And then when you flip it, so it's not hard to flip, you get a 5/5 Galepack Paragon, which says it's an artifact creature. And whenever you cast a spell that's exactly 2 colors, look at the top 6 cards of the library. You may reveal a card that's exactly 2 colors from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Not bad. I mean, you get a 5/5 for 5, basically, if you're not playing 2 colors exactly. And it allows you to exile. And it's quick, so I really love this. But other than that, don't necessarily build around. If you manage to, that's not bad. Zada, yes, and then Bloodfell Caves and Incubator. All right, we have a Thrashing Frontliner, Sunder the Gateway, Arachnoid Adaptation, and Tidal Terror, Hangar Scrounger. This was the one that you can put in vehicles and definitely use it. Vanquish the Weak. Flywheel Racer. Yep. And then Placid Rottentail. Oracle of Tragedy. Oh, she's so tragic. For 2 generic. For 1 generic and 1 blue. It's a 1/3 wizard. Whenever it enters the battlefield or dies, you choose 1. Either draw a card and discard a card, or shuffle. So you loot, or you shuffle off to 4 target cards with mana value 3 or greater from your graveyard into your library. Not bad. I mean, for the mill strategy, but there's better stuff at this slot. If you have nothing else, not bad. It gets you, as I said, stuff back from the graveyard. But it shuffles it. So if you've discarded something or been forced to discard something amazing, then yeah, maybe. But I wouldn't count too much on it. Hermosian Greysword, which has Convoke. It's a 4 generic and 1 red artifact equipment. And the equipped creature gets +3/+1, has Trample, and you can equip it for 2. Kind of expensive. I don't think it's the best. Right, we have Glissa, Herald of Predation, and her. Wow, she looks creepy as hell. I liked her in the previous iteration for example V1. So this is a legendary creature for Phyrexian Zombie Elf. Poor thing. Which is, not only did she die, she got resurrected and became Phyrexian on top of that. She's a 3/5 for 3 generic, 1 black, 1 green, so it's not that hard to cast her. At the beginning of your combat on your turn, you choose 1. Either incubate 2 twice, so you create 2 incubation tokens with 2+1/+1 counters on it, or transform all incubator tokens you control, or Phyrexian control gain first strike and death touch until the end of the turn. That's crazy. That's good. I like it. Captive Weird, this is a good card. Invasion of Dimineria. You create a Sarah Angel, if I'm not mistaken. This is a battle. That's 2 generic and 1 white. It's 5 defense, so it's not that hard to kill. And it comes in pretty early. Whenever you play, you draw 4 life, you draw a card. Sorry, you gain 4 life, you draw a card. And then you flip it around and you get Sarah. Flying Vigilance 4/4. Not bad. There's better. It doesn't help you a lot towards, like, the first part doesn't help you a lot towards getting the 5 down. But, you know, if you play it and you're prepared to kill it right away, then you get up basically Angel Sarah. Sarah Angel, sorry. Kahira, the Orphan Guard, right? So these are the Zendikar companions. And you can find them in this beautiful, beautiful art. I think, at least, that they are beautiful. This is a classic. I like them. I hope I can get all of them because I really love them in this art. All right. And then we get the Blossoming Sands and the Treasure. And of course, companions are going to be really hard to play in Limited because, yeah, you can try and build around them, but, you know, it's going to be really, really tough. You're setting yourself up for an extra hardship on top of having to deal with the rest of the table trying to make their own decks not around the companion. So Aerial Boost, Timberland Ancient, which is a 6/5 creature, Tree Folk, which costs 4 generic and 2 green, with Reach and Trample and Forest Cycling. Again, Forest Cycling, the cycling part, can be really good. So, and of course, it's a 6/5 for 6 with reach and trample. So, decent if you're needing to have a lot of mana fixing. If not, it's just a big dumb creature. Storming Conversion, Rouse Reinforcement, Final Flourish, Halo Hopper, Unseal the Necropolis. This is an instant for 2 generic 1 black. Each player mills 3 cards. Then you return up to 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. See? This is what I was saying. This is another enabler for the mill deck. Definitely a good card. Burning Sun's Fury. Seen it. Vitagen Connoisseur is a 0/5 Valdakin mutant creature for 1 generic and 1 green, 1 blue. It has flying vigilance and it gets +1/+0 for each trust run permanent you control. Not bad for the cost. You have to build around it though. Cameo of the Whispered Hopes is a 1/1 spirit for 2 generic, 1 green. It's a creature spirit. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on permanent you control, that many +1/+1 counters, +1/+1/+1 counters, sorry, try to say that really quickly, are put on the permanent instead. So you add an extra +1 counter every time you put a +1/+1 counter. And then you tap this to add X amount of any one color, where X is the Kami's of Whisper's Hope power. This can be really good if you're building around it. You definitely want to play this in a counter deck, absolutely. So in that, you can also have mana ramping and fixing. So that's really good if you build around it. Glistening Dawn is a rare sorcery with 2 generic and 2 green. Incubate X twice, where X is the number of lands you control. That's broken. So if you just play it for 4, okay, so it's 4. So 4 times 2, so you get 2 4/4s basically to fill up around. Okay, but still, it's broken. This is really good rare for limited. Seraphony Capena, Invasion of Amonkhet. We've not seen this one before. It's 1 generic and Dimir, so 1 blue, 1 black. It's a 4 defense battle siege. When it enters the battlefield, each player mills 3 cards, then each opponent discards a card and you draw a card. Very good advantage for you. It doesn't help you a lot getting this down, but you know, it's a mill deck, so it does what it's supposed to do. So definitely you want to play it there. And then if you flip it, you may, this is a Lazotep converter, which you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any other creature card in the graveyard, except it's a 4/4 black zombie in addition to other types. Very good for the mill deck strategy. Dexus, Blessed by the Sun. Of course, we know this one. It's a 2 generic and star creature, legendary demigod enchantment for 2 white. And its toughness is equal to devotional white. And whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain 1 life. Not bad. Maybe in the night deck it could be good. I mean, in the end, it's a very cheap creature, so why not? Jungle Hollow, and then welcome to Arena. Not really. All right. Almost there with the second part of the second half. Yeah, it's taken a while. I'm sorry, but you know, as we said, we go through it. We look at them. We discuss them. We love them. Sigil Sentinel. Yes. First common. Fertilid's Favor. Second, Temporal Cleansing. Coming in hot. I crochet. This is a very similar pack. Onake. Javelineer. We have not seen this one before. It's a 5/4 Ogre Spare for 4 generic and 1 red, so not bad. It has reach, of course, a Javelineer, and you tap it, deals 2 damage to target player of battle. Me likey. It's a good slot for this one. It's not great, but it's good. Okay, Blade Battle Fan. Glistening Deluge, which is seen before. Elvish Vat Keeper, and this is a second uncommon. Elvish Vat Keeper is a 3/3 for X and Elf. For 1 generic, 1 black, and 1 green, and enters the battlefield. You incubate 2, and then you can spend 5 generic and transform target incubator token you control, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Ha! Broken. Very good if you build around it. All right, Quintorius, Lore Master. This is a 3/5 legendary creature, Elephant Cleric. For 3 generic and 1 red and 1 white. It has vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, exile target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard. Create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. So exile a spell, like an instant sorcery, enchantment, etc. And you create a 3/2 token, and then for 1 generic, 1 red, 1 white, you tap this, you sacrifice a spirit, choose target card exiled with this creature, and you may cast that card this turn without paying its mana cost. And that spell will be put into a graveyard, put it onto the bottom of its Source library instead. Now, this is not bad with the big, dumb enchantment that triples the damage of any source deal. That is definitely something. It fits in your graveyard already. But it's not a bad card. It's Vigilance. I think it's a bit too slow. If you buff it up, it might be okay. And then Herbology Instructor. And Invasion of Kylem. Alright, so we've seen Invasion of Kylem before. We have Sazan, the Perverter of Truth, which is a 6/5 legendary demon spirit creature for 3 generic and 2 black. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player loses 2 life and draws 2 cards. This is a double-edged sword. I wouldn't want to play it for my opponents, definitely. Maybe for Commander might be good, I don't know, but 2 life draws 2 cards. It's too big of an advantage to drawing 2 cards for each of my opponents as well. Oh, another foil rare. We have an Invasion of Segovia, which we've seen before. It just creates a 1/1 blue Kraken creature with trample, and then you flip it around. And it's a 3/3, and non-creature spells. You cast have Convoke, which is really good. It's a really nice creature. And it's a beautiful card. Foil, especially. Very nice. And we have Blossoming Sands and a token. All right, we have Alabaster Host Intercessor, Iridescent Blade Master, Thunder Herd Squadron, the Searing Barb, Barbara, Sorcerer Cavalier, Negate, Corrupted Conviction, Shatter the Source. Also, just realized Shatter the Source we have not seen before. It's an instant with Convoke. It's a 5 generic and 1 red. You choose one, either deals 6 damage to target creature, player, or battle, or destroy target artifact. Since it has Convoke, this is pretty good. I think if you build around it, you can definitely deal 6 damage really easily. All right, let's go look at the Botanical Brawler now. This is a creature, an Elemental Warrior. It's a 0/0 that costs 1 green and 1 white. Has Trample, enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it, so it's a 2/2 for 2. And whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are put on another permanent you control, if it's the first time +1/+1 counters have been put on that permanent this turn, you put a +1/+1 counter on this Brawler. It can grow up really big. I like it a lot. Build around it, please. Scorn, Blade Berserker. 0/1 creature for 1 black. Sweeping Berserker with backup 1, and its backup ability is 1 generic, sacrifices creature to draw a card. Actually, not bad. Definitely not bad because you can use 2 creatures to sack, but you know, again, this slot maybe use it for better, but still not bad. Rona, Herald of Invasion. Oh yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. I didn't even pay attention to the rarity symbol. Yeah, this is a rare. It's just that it's in the beautiful Planner Booster Fund. So that's really cool. It flips. I think this is a really strong card, and it flips and does even better. Look at that. It's really, really cool in this treatment. It's really nice. Oh, I love it. Okay, the Invasion of Kaladesh. When it enters the battlefield, you create a 1/1, a colorless topped an artifact creature token with flying. It's a 4 defense, battle siege, and it costs only 1 red and 1 blue. So not bad. And this 1/1 Thopter does help get it down quickly, and you flip it around. You get an Aetherwing Golden Scale Flagship, which is a star 4 legendary artifact vehicle. The cruise for 1, so you can use the Ornithopter to crew it. And it has flying, and the Aetherwing Golden Scale Flagship's owner power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. Which, in this set, counting that every single incubator is an artifact, and every Phyrexian is a token is an artifact as well. Could be good. Definitely strong. All right, Igor, the Freezing Flame. This is a 3/3 Kaldheim creature from 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 red. It's a giant wizard, of course, and I love the art. And this is Gut Machine? Oh no. It's very similar to Gut Machine, though. Whenever a creature, Planeswalker, an opponent controls is dealt excess damage. If a giant wizard or a spell you control dealt damage to it this turn, draw a card. Situational. I don't think you can really build too much around it. Okay, moving on. Almost done with the second part. Chomping Cavu, Affairs Dispersal, Marauding Deadship, Bola Slinger, Cosmic Hunger, love it. Acid Host Doombringer, Zelfarin, Shapecraft, Deadly Derision. Wow, this is a very similar booster like the other one. Furnace Reigns, you gain control of target creature until the end of the turn. It's a sorcery. Untap that creature until the end of the turn, it gains haste, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or a battle, you create a treasure token. Sack outlets. You need sack outlets to use this, or this has got to be the coup de grace. So it's very situational on how you build this deck. Mirror Shield Hoplite. It's a 2/2 creature for 2, 1 red and 1 white. It's a vigilance creature. Whenever a creature you control becomes a target of a backup ability, copy that ability. You may choose new targets of the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. So this is going to be the staple of the archetype for this. Ooh, this is another mythic card. Beautiful. Borborygmos and Flubl. I don't know how you say it. Something like that. So Flubl is a 6/5 creature, a legendary, Cyclops and Homunculus. And as for 2 generic, 1 red and 1 blue and 1 green. Whenever it enters the battlefield or attracts, you draw a card. Then you may discard any number of land cards. When you discard 1 or more cards this way, it deals twice that much damage to a target creature. So not bad, but at the same time, you want to be flooding to use this because otherwise it's just a 6/5 for 5, which is kind of hard to cast so far. And then for 1 generic and 1 blue, you put this into the Sonus library third from the top. I don't want to be sacking too many lands and I don't want to build too much around it, but it's a 6/5 that doesn't really do much more other than that. So it's a really cool creature and I love the frame, but you know, Poetic Prankster. Yep, that's common. Invasion Recapena. Alright. Rayev Mastersmith is our multiverse legend. It's a 2/2 for 1 red and 1 white. It's the legendary creature, Dwarf Artificer. Whenever a creature you control does enchanted or equipped attacks, that creature gains double strike until the end of the turn. So for this color combination, might be good to have this card. Oh wow, I love this swamp. Look at that. That's beautiful. Alright, and then a mental token. Okie doke. Alright, we have Cyber Cryptomancer, Karsus Death Guard, Alabaster Host Sanctifier, Converter Beast, Kite Sail, Inspired Charge, Consuming Aetherborn, Phyrexian Awakening, Scrappy Bruiser, which I like. Sculpted Perfection, and when it enters the battlefield, you incubate 2. It's an enchantment for 2 generic and 1 white, 1 black, and all Phyrexians you control get +1/+1. Definitely something you really want in your Phyrexian deck. Aetherblade Agent, Death Touch, love it. Invasion of Segovia, again, as a rare. Ha! That's another one. And you're the Doom of the Depths, another companion. Really love the art, really cool. Wow! Oh my god, we're getting lucky with the foils. That's insane. Realmbreaker, the Invasion Tree, which is really, really cool because I think this is the world tree, right? Legendary artifact for 3 generic, so it's not that expensive. For 2 generic and tap this card, target opponent mills 3 cards, put a land card from the graveyard, their graveyard, onto the battlefield tapped under your control, gains if this land will leave the battlefield exile instead of putting it anywhere else. So that's good for the mirror deck. That's really good. And actually any deck, to be fair, because you're milling your opponent and stealing their lands. That's really, really good, actually. And then for 10 generic, so the coup de grace, and you tap it, you sacrifice it to search your library for any number of Praetor cards, put them onto the battlefield and shuffle. I mean, yeah, okay, it's not bad for that ability. I mean, I don't know how lucky you're going to get and get more than one Praetor and this at the same time, but the first ability is really good and limited. And also it costs a lot. The 10 is really, really expensive. Okay, then we get a Plains, full art. That, and a token. Okie doke. Protocol Knight. We run Bane Splitter, Attentive Skywarden, Portent Tracker, Assimilate Essence, Golden Scale Aeronaut, Kithkin Billy Rider, I love this card, Mirrodin Avenged, Norn's Inquisitor. Like this card. This is such a good card. I think it's really good for Phyrexian deck for sure, because it's a 1/1 Phyrexian Knight that costs 1 generic and 1 white, and whenever it enters the battlefield, you incubate 2. So it allows you to get a 2-for-1, and then whenever a permanent you control transfers into a Phyrexian, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. So definitely you want this in the Phyrexian deck. Stock the Flames, another great card. Here I go with Multani, the non-planner booster fun version. I love the the flavor in this one. Is really, really cool. Because Multani is making like this like speech of like, yeah, no, I know, I understand what my daughter was saying. It's like, whoa. Anyway, the Murlocs are in me. Order of the Mirror. And then we have Invasion of Mog. Not seen this one before. It's a 5 defense battle siege with 2 generic, 1 green, 1 white. And when it enters the battlefield, it puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. That's very good, and it helps you get that 5 defense down much quicker. Oh, I just saw the back. I know. Holy crap, this freaking box, man. This is awesome. Bloom Wielder Dryads. It's a 3/3 ward 2. And at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. This is really good battle. But look at this. Oh my god. We got her. Oh my god, we got her. I think this is one of the more expensive ones. You have Ragavan as well, but I think this is one of the more expensive ones to get. Elish Norn, the Grand Cenobite, the one, the only, the original. It's a 5 generic and 2 white, 4/7 vigilance. Other creatures you control get +2/+2. Creatures your opponent control get -2/-2. You get this, you take it, you keep it. Even if you're not playing white, definitely. And it's in the high core version, so that's pretty cool. I'm happy. I got Shieldred. I got Elish Norn in one box. I'm so happy. Ooh, Zombie token is really nice, actually. Look at that. It even has a Phyrexian arm. Really cool. Really cool. All right. That's awesome. That's really, really nice. All right. Here we go. All right. Red Cap Heal Slasher. Angelic Intervention. Good card. Timberland Ancient. Halo Charge Cabe. Expedition Lookout. Floating Guerrilla. Moment of Truth. Surge of Salvation, which we've seen before, which is a good sideboard card, but also it is just a good protection card for white. Furnace Gremlin, seen him before, not my favorite. Oh, Glissa, seen you before. Bonded Herbies, seen you before. Vision of Xerix. Yep, we've seen this before. Okay, Tetsuko Umezawa, Fugitive. It's a legendary creature, human rogue, 1/3. For 1 generic and 1 blue, creatures you control with power or toughness 1 or less cannot be blocked. Definitely decent for the night deck, but at the same time, the night deck wants to go wide and strong, so you want to build up +1/+1 counters, but it might be good at the beginning, so I would play it. Unless, of course, I find much better for that slot. Expedition Lookout foil, and then we have Rugged Highlands and a treasure token, which is an arm. And I don't think it's an arm and it's an actual artifact, but we don't talk about it. Because in the end, all Phyrexians are artifacts. Yes. All right. Volcanic Spite. Core Halberd. Weary Thespian. Very good. Holy moly, this booster. Pretty champion. This booster in limited would be crazy. Aki Scram Chomper. Icor Drinker. Again, like this crazy booster. Halo Hopper. Drag Recycler. All right, we get the first Tango Skyline. This is an enchantment for 4 generic and 1 green. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 5 life and incubate 5. That's not bad. You get a 5/5 with 5 life as well. It can save your butt at this slot. If you want to fill it up and you got a ramp, go for it. I think this set is not going to be as quick in speed as Phyrexia, so definitely if you build around something like that, go for it. Stormcrow Rager. Phyrexian Gargantua. This is a nice look at that. Look at that art. That's so cool and creepy. All right. It is a 4/4 creature, Phyrexian Horror, for 4 generic and 2 black. When it enters the battlefield, you draw 2 cards, you lose 2 life. Not bad, actually. I mean, it's a steep cost for a 4/4, but you draw 2 cards. So at that time, you can definitely get an advantage then. It's decent. Bonded Herbeast again. And then we have Invasion of Theros as our rare. This is a Battle Siege for 4 defense, for 2 generic and 1 white. When it enters the battlefield, you search your library for an aura, god, or demigod card, reveal it, and put it in your hand, then shuffle. Not a lot of this going on. You'd have to build around it. And then when you flip it around, you get the Ever Sheltering. It's a 4/4 enchantment creature god, and has lifelink and destructible as long as you control at least 3 other enchantments. And whenever another enchantment enters the battlefield you control, you draw a card. Yeah, definitely want to build around this if you're so inclined. All right, another rare. This is beautiful. Oh my, this is so beautiful. Look at that art. All right, this is Anafanza, Kintree Spirits. It's a 2/2 for 2 white. A legendary creature, Spirit Soldier. Oh, it's a spirit. That's cool. That's hence the illustration, I guess. Whenever another non-talking creature enters the battlefield under your control, bolster 1, which means you choose a creature with the least toughness amongst creatures you control, and put a +1/+1 counter on it. Toughness. So, not bad. Knight's Deck, maybe, but it's a beautiful card. I love the illustration. Then we get Scoured Barrens and a treasure token. All right. Few more to go here. All right, Infected Effector. And then we have the last third of the box. Thank you for sticking around so far. I know this is time consuming. Sorry for that. I was just checking about it. I know this is a time consuming thing, but realistically, we love looking at the cards. We love reading them out. We enjoy doing this because we honestly enjoy unboxing and seeing all these amazing cards with you. And I hope you're enjoying this. Whether you have a drink on the side and just enjoy hearing the sound of my voice sometimes, and otherwise, you're learning something new, please do like us. Maybe if you like us enough, share these videos with someone else. They're not for everybody, that's for sure. If you want the quick and easy drafts, what's inside the box, what value am I getting out of it, but here we appreciate the cards, so you get that. And also, if you stick around, you'll see some pretty useful guide versions on what is what and where you can find it. Anyway, let's go on with the Infected Defector, War Historian, the Furtive Analyst, Hanger Scrounger, Scroll Shift, Edge Familiar, again, very similar booster pack, Trailblazing Historian, Render Inert is our first uncommon, very good, Zalfirin Lancer. Wow, this is the Zendikar Border Planner Booster Fun Omnath Locus of All, which is also the Buy a Booster Box promo. So this is a 4/4 that costs, basically Woolberg, except for the black is Phyrexian. So it's 1 white, 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue, and 1 Phyrexian black. And it's a legendary Phyrexian Elemental. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. And if you do, add 3 mana of any combination of its colors and put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it into your hand. It's a decent card. I think it's pretty strong. I don't know in a limited how strong this would be. In constructed, probably you can figure out some very gnarly way to play it. Again, Woolberg, which is the 5 color combination, is not easy to play, but maybe in Commander. That would be nice. I like this illustration as well. All right, then we have the Skycleave Aerialist and Invasion of Lorwyn. We've not seen this one before. All right, so look at the art. I think that's really beautiful. Okay, so it's a 5 defense for 4 generic and 1 black and 1 green. So that's a 6 coster. And when it enters the battlefield, you destroy target non-elf creature and opponent controls with power X or less, where X is no number of lands you control. This is an expensive removal. I would not want to use this battle at all. I'm sorry. Then you have Winnowing Forces. Winnowing Forces, power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Not worth it. The front part is too hard of a cast. Dina Soul Steeper, we've seen her before. Scroll Shift, foil, nice. Windscarred Crag, and that's it. All right, that's the second part done. Now on to the third part. All right, we have Cut Short, which I think is a very good card. Arachnoid Adaptation, Eyes of Jetaxius, Beantown Beatstick, Realmbreaker's Grasp, Fail Conversion, Phyrexian Archivist, Gloomfang Mauler, Gift of Completion, yes, we've seen it before, Rampaging Juder, Nahiri's Warcrafting. It's a sorcery for 1 generic, 2 red, and it deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker or battle. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the excess damage dealt this way. You may exile one of those cards, put the rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. You may play the exile card this way. So you can play an extra land. Not bad. Definitely not bad. I wouldn't break the mold with this. Like, I wouldn't go chasing after it, but it's not bad because it's a 5 damage. You're hoping to get it later on. You're hoping to get something a bit better, though. But not bad. Order of the Mirror. And Invasion of Arcadia. Oh, that's cool. All right. Let's see. What the art is really, really cool, actually. I love the battles have some really cool arts. When Invasion of Arcadia enters the battlefield, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. It costs only 1 generic and 1 red. Okay, so you may discard a card, you draw 2 cards, so it allows you to damage. Not bad, but you get 2 cards, and it has 4 defense. Okay, so depending on what you draw, it could help you kill it more quickly, but since it's turn 2, it's not that bad. And then you get Kirin Flamewright, which is a 3/3 creature goblin spell shaper with 2 generic and 1 red. Tap this creature, you discard a card, create 2 1/1 blue and red elemental creature tokens. It creatures you control gain +1/+0 and gain haste until the end of the turn. Mixed bag. It's good. Can be in the right deck, for sure. So it is a deck. The discarding a card part, though, makes it kind of iffy. So if you're flooding, great. Otherwise, it's just a 3/3, or if you have stuff that you are happy to discard. Ingarunize, yes, and Jungle Hollow, and Treasure. Almost there at the end. Thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for sticking along, and thank you for watching us, truly, from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. All right, Serpent Blade Assailant. This is a beautiful card, I think. I think it's a good card. Cyber Cryptomancer, War Train Slasher, Knight of the New Coalition, Wildwood Escort, Flywheel Racer, Traumatic Revelation, Burning Sun's Fury. All right, first uncommon, Lithomatic Barrage, Tandem Takedown, Tiller of Flash, Captive Weird. Where's my rare? That is weird. Weird. Get it? Okay. Yeah, and I'm not punny. This should be behind. Okay, I guess you can get them in this sign too. Okay, you have Invasion Arcavius. I think we've seen this before, but just in case, it enters the battlefield. It has 7 defense, so it's really expensive. It's 3 generic and 2 blue. And you search your library graveyard and or outside the game for an instant sorcery card you own, reveal it and put it in your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. There aren't any lessons in this set, and it's really, really hard. Yeah, I can allow you to get to tutor something for 5. That's not bad, but you know, meh. And then you get Invocation of the Founders when you flip it, which is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, you may choose a copy. You may copy that spell, and you choose new targets with that copy. Really expensive for what it's trying to do, in my opinion. Renata, again. Tranquil Cove, and Phyrexian Mirror. Oh, that is so cool. Oh my god, that is such a cool card. Look at the beauty. Oh my god. Phyrexian Mirror. That's the first time I see a Phyrexian Mirror. That's so beautiful. I like that anyway. I know that most mirrors turn Phyrexian with new Phyrexian, but you know. That's such a beautiful art. Samuel Curran. Oh, nice. Meaning of the Minds. Well, of Minds. Ren's Resolve. Enduring Bone Warden. Atrax's Fall. Vanquish the Weak. Onaki Javelinier. Sorry. Tenured Allcaster. You know, after a while, your tongue just goes out the window. Shivan Branch Burner. All right. The first. Oh, no, that's the second uncommon. Copper Host Crusher. All right. Ancient Imperiosaur. Okay, 6/6 for 7 for 5 generic and 2 green. Has Convoke, which is very good. Trample and Ward 2, and it enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counter for each creature that convoked it. This is insane. You definitely won this. You definitely freaking won this. Absolutely. Tarkin Dune, of course, if you're building the deck. Tarkin Dune Shaper, Invasion of Ulfgortha, which I don't think this is a good card because it enters the battlefield, deal 3 damage to any target, you gain 3 life. And it's a 4 generic and 1 black. It has 5 defense, so there's better in black. But you turn it around, you have Grandmother Sengir, just like, yay! She's awesome. I don't know if you can see it really well. The face, she's having so much fun. It's a 3/3 flying legendary human wizard. And whenever a creature an opponent control dies, you put a +1/+1 counter on the Grandmother and you gain 1 life. Love your grandmas. There you go. Oh, Karuga. Wow, this is another beautiful companion. Wow, look at those arts. That's so cool. And so, wow. That's another foil. Tisa Karlov. And this is the draft booster. I'm not used to getting so much value out of draft boosters. That's insane. I love this set. Tisa Karlov foil. That's a 2/4. Is this a... No, this is a full foil. It's not an edge. You can't get edge foil in this in draft boosters. This is 2/4 legendary creature, human advisor for 2 generic and 1 black and 1 white. If a creature dying causes a triggered ability or permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Creature tokens you control have vigilance and lifelink. Good for the Phyrexians, this last part. But the first one, I don't know how often you'll be able to cast. Really beautiful card, though. Really beautiful card. Ooh, Full Art Forest? Nice. Very beautiful card. Yeah, the foiling in that just shines through with the pattern at the back. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, we have the Oculus Whelp. Karsus Death Guard. Attentive Skywarden. She's very attentive. Vengeance Earth. Disturbing Conversion. Seed of Hope. And to be fair, if I woke up one day and my arm looked like that, I'd be disturbed. Very. Seed of Hope. And Azumi Informant. Overgrown Pest, very good card. Completed Huntmaster. Seal from Existence. Bonebringer Valkyrie. This is a good card. I don't know if you've seen it before. I think we have in our pre-release. It's a 4/4 Angel for 3 generic and 2 white. It has backup 1 and also gives Flying First Strike and a lifelink. Really good card. Really good card. Harried Artisan. Invasion of Ren. I don't know if we've seen this one before. It's a 3 generic and 1 blue battle siege with 4 defense, so it's not hard to kill. And when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then discard a card. Okay, not bad. And then you get Overloaded Mage Ring, which you tap this, sacrifice it, copy target spell you control. Bit expensive for what it does. There are better. Oh, this is nice. This is Amonkhet. Emoti, Celebrant of Bounty. This is a legendary creature, 3/1, I think. For 3 generic, 1 green and 1 blue. Has Cascade, so whenever you cast a spell, exile cards from the top of the library until an exile a non-land card that costs less. So this is why it's expensive. You cast it without paying its mana cost, puts the exiled card at the bottom of the library in any random order, and then spells you cast with mana value 6 or greater have Cascade. Could be good actually for a Simic deck. Yeah, spells you cast. Yeah, I mean you're gonna go through your deck really quick, but it puts it at the bottom. So yeah, could be good. Could be good. Okay, Dismal Backwater and then Monk. Wow, hiya! That is so freaking cool. Look at that freaking Monk. Awesome. Shouting freaking Monk, yeah. Yeah, the tokens, they've really gone all out with this extension. The art is beautiful. The versions are gorgeous. Wow, really cool. All right, coming in hot. So are we. Sunder the Gateway, Skidding Surveyor, Blighted Burgeoning, Tidal Terror, Mirrodin Avenge. I really love the art, by the way, of this one. I think it's so beautiful. So beautiful. Urn of Godfire, Unseal the Necropolis, Astral Wingspan, our first uncommon, Sun Stalker, Moloch, second uncommon, Zephyr Singer. Okay, this is a 3/4 Siren Pyre creature that costs 2 generic and 2 blue. Has Convoke. Wow, okay, that's really good. Flying Vigilance, that's very, very good. When it enters the battlefield, put a flying counter on each creature that convoked it. Are you freaking kidding me? This is insane. This is like the Dino one. Oh my god, this is really good. You put both in one deck. Woo-hoo. I love this one. Bonded Herd Beast. I don't like that one. Invasion of Regatha. All right, so this is when it enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to another target battle or opponent, and 1 damage up to 1 target creature. So this is a 2 cost, 2 generic cost, and 1 red cost. 5 defense. Not bad. I mean, 4 damage to a battle. I guess if you want to flip another battle, that's okay. And if you really need battles, then you get Disciples of Inferno, which has prowess, and if a non-creature source you control would deal damage to a creature, battle, or opponent, it deals damage plus 2 instead. Could be decent if you build around this, but you need to flip this quick. You need to flip it quick. Dyna, Soul Steeper, Thornwood Falls, and Incubator. Almost there. We have 6 more after this, and then we're done. We're free. I'm joking. No, this was fun. Like, honestly, for me, this is always fun. Thrashing Frontliner, Alabaster Host Intercessor. They're like, Jesus Christ, like, long name, eh? Converter Beast. I mean, I know there are longers, but Simulate Essence, Placid Rottentail, Ash Familiar, Shadow the Source, Omen Hawker, Streetwise Negotiator, Ozolith, the Shadow Spire. This is a legendary artifact for 1 generic and 1 green. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters would be put on an artifact or creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on it instead. So you get 1 extra, just like the other one before. And then for 1 generic and 1 green, tap this, you put a +1/+1 counter on target artifact creature you control, you activate only as a sorcery. Yeah, so basically you always put 2 +1/+1 counters, and you also can cycle it. Very good card. Very, very strong card. Very strong card for limited, of course. Soundblessed Guardian. Invasion of Morgunda. Not seeing this one, I think. For 4 generic and 1 green, as a battle siege, when it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Okay. Then a creature fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. Okay, not bad. I mean, it's an expensive fight spell, so that's not great. Oh, Gigantha! And then you get Primordial Plasm, which is a 4/4 at the beginning of combat, and you turn another target creature gets +2/+2 and loses all abilities until the end of the turn. It's not bad. I mean, it's very expensive for what it does. If you can flip it, it's not bad. Gigantha! Oh, this is so cool. I love this companion. I really like this companion. It's awesome. Yeah, this is really, really cool. That's so nice. We've gotten like 3 already, right? Oh, that's cool. I don't remember how many there were. Was it like 8 or 6? I don't remember. Shana, Sisei's Legacy. Oh, Sisei's. Oh, that's awesome. This is a 0/0 legendary creature, human warrior, with 1 green and 1 white. And it can't be target of abilities your opponents control, but she gets a +1/+1 for each creature you control. Could be good in this color combination. It's also foil, so that's really beautiful. And then a plains and a knight. Oh, I love the knight token. Look at that. It's really beautiful. Yeah, I love the tokens in this one. They're really well done. All right, we have first Furnace Host Charger, Sourcehorn Cavalier, the Cosmic Hunger, the Protocol Knight, Ichor Shade, Crystal Carapace, Final Flourish, Kite Sail, Phyrexian Sensor, and the Xerox Stroke Knight. I wonder how many people get the Xerox joke. Errant Jada. This is a legendary creature, Human Angel, 2/3. From New Campaign, I can see the clothes. I love it. For 1 generic, 1 white, and 1 blue. So that's good. Flash. Flying, yes. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast spells with flash or flying from the top of your library. That's not bad. I mean, you can always see what's coming up next, and you could prepare the second ability. It won't be really used, but it's a flash flying 2/3 decent. I like it. It's definitely won't break it's not overpowered, but it's definitely good. Poetic Prankster. Nope. Goes here. Invasion of Perulia. You get it. Oh yeah, we've seen this one. Sorry. Eudora, Grave Gardener. All right, this is another rare, beautiful, beautiful. It is a 5/5 legendary creature, Tree Folk Druid, and it's 4 generic and 1 green. And whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may return it to the battlefield face down under its owner's control. It's a forest land. You convert your creatures that aren't tokens into lands. That's really, really good, especially for ramp decks. That's really good, actually. And it's a 5/5 for 5, so it's always nice. Thornwood Falls, and then nothing. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. Searing Barb. So far, this unboxing has been amazing. I love it. Bola Slinger, Chomping Cavo, Thunderhair Squadron, Miram Banesplitter. I still prefer the cool idea of opening Brothers War, but because it has so many artifacts, and it's, again, Brothers War is a classic in the history buffs lore. But Drag Recycler, Scroll Shift, this is still really cool. Deadly Derision, really good card. Ramosian's Greysword, Joyful Storm Sculptor, yes. Mutagen Connoisseur. All right, Pulchranus Reborn. So it's a 3 green creature legendary Hydra. It's a 4/5, so that's really good, and it has reach. And then for 6 generic and 1 Phyrexian white, it flips around and becomes a 6/6 reach lifelink creature. And it's a cool art as well. And whenever this or another non-token Hydra you control dies, you create a 3/3 green and white Phyrexian creature token with reach, and 3/3 green white Phyrexian creature token with lifelink. So it's the Worm Coil. Nice. That's not bad, actually. That's not bad at all. And yeah, I mean, it's a hard cost, but you can definitely build around it. Invasion of Mook. We've seen it before. All right. Furia, Judge of Valor. Okay, this is a 2/4 legendary creature, Angel Cleric, and with 2 generic, 1 white, and 2 black. The art is super freaking cool. And it has flying, lifelink. And whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of the library, put 1 of them in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. That's not bad. And it allows you to cycle through your deck quite quickly. It has flying, it has lifelink. It's a hard cast, not bad. It's not a groundbreaker, but it's not bad. Stiff Water Cliffs, Incubator. All right, 4 more boosters to go. Alabaster, Host Sanctifier. Iridescent Blade Master, Temporal Cleansing. Redcap Heel Slasher. Sigilled Sentinel. Kithkin Billy Rider. Ashed Host Doombringer, Negate, Oracle of Tragedy, Merciless Repurposing, Poor Orbrask, Fairy Mastermind. Okay, this is the World Championship winner. Right? Yes, it is. Yuta Takahashi. Great player. And this is a Fairy Rogue 2/1 creature that costs 1 generic and 1 blue, flash, and flying. And whenever opponents draw their card, the second card each turn, you draw a card. And also you can force draw by 3 generic and 1 blue, but you don't tap it. So this is a fairly good creature. It's easy and flimsy to kill, but at the same time, it can help you in many ways, either by late drawing or if your opponent has any draws, effects, and doesn't deal with us, you draw extra cards. This is also good. Tarkir Dune Shaper, Invasion of Lorwyn, Inga Rune Eyes, Windscar Crag, and Incubator. 3 more. Here we go. All right, Fertility's Favor, Ephara's Dispersal, Raoul's Reinforcement, Uriel Boost, very good card, I think, Bladed Battle Fan, Expedition Lookout, Fail Conversion, Owlspet Smythe, also another card that I think is pretty decent, Storm the Sea Core, oh, Knight Errant of Eos, that's like the Knight Errant from Modern Horizon, right? So you can convoke it, it's a 4/4 creature, Human Knight, for 4 generic and 1 white. Whenever it enters, so it's a knight, so that's great. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal up to 2 creature cards with mana value X or less among them, where X is the number of creatures that convoked him. And then put the real cards in your hand and then shuffle. Not bad. I think it's not groundbreaking, but it's not bad. For sure. It's not a bad creature. Nodvold Hermit. And then we get Invasion of Regatha. And Renata again. And Furnace Rains and Foil. Gorgeous. And then Windscar Crag as our game land. Portent Tracker. Stasis Field. Marauding Dreadship. Angelic Intervention. Serpent Blade Assailant. Inspired Charge, Ico Drinker, Skittering Surveyor, Furnace Rains. Yeah, just saw you. All right. Then we have Wicked Slumber. Yes. Collective Nightmare. And Herbology Instructor. It's so weird that sometimes this card is on the other side, but okay. Invasion of Curses, which we've seen before. Beautiful rare. Tisa Karlov, yes, we've seen her before. We have her foil. That's a beautiful card. An Island and Knight. I think it happens only when the rare is a battle. The battle is a rare. That's why. Maybe why they are flipped. I'm paying attention to things. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Last booster. Here we go. Breeding Champion. Great card. Furnace Host Charger. Core Halberd, which actually is not a bad card. If you have nothing better to do with equipments, there are some cards that are good with them. Traxxas Fall, Meaning of the Minds, Corrupted Conviction, Moment of Truth, don't like it. Gloomfang Mauler, Halo Forager, like it. Marshal Zelfair, Progenitor Azaric. Okay, this is a 1/2 for X and Cleric. Okay, it's a kitty cat. And for X and a white, so you double pay the X cost. When it enters the battlefield, you incubate 3 X times. Okay, that's not bad. And then you can tap it to transform target incubator token that you control. It's not bad, actually. I think it's kind of slow because, yeah, you're incubating 3 times X, but to get the max amount of value, you want to play it later, and by that turn you can't really get huge creatures in anyway. But the transform part could be really good in for X in deck, so that's for sure. Seraph of New Capenna, Invasion of Mercadia, Rayev, Master Smith, and then the Plains, and that's it. Okay, everybody. Oh, these cards, they went here for some reason. Thank you very much for sticking around until the end if you have, and if you skip to the end, either way, we're very happy to have you with us. So anyway, we wanted to thank you very much, Scotty and I, for sticking around, for watching our videos. And if you want to see more of this, the next boxes that we'll like open are the set booster, the collector's booster, and then we'll open also the bundle and all 5 of the commander decks, and then we will go into in-depth analysis of those decks as well. So if you want, please like, subscribe, hit that bell, and yeah, share the videos. Let us know if we could do something better. Let us know how we could improve. And if you don't like it, just dislike the video. Either way, we appreciate your time and your patience with us. So from us, we wish you a good day, a blessed day. Be good, be kind, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.